You might come up, lift your hips up a little bit on a block or a cushion. Okay, just coming into your space, getting nice and comfortable, nice tall spine, softening your eyes and starting to tune in with your breath. Notice as the breath comes in and your chest expands, and notice as the breath goes out, as your chest deflates. Notice the cool air flowing in through your nostrils, pausing, and then the warm air coming back out through your nostrils. Noticing the ground beneath your body, beneath your buttocks, and beneath your feet, supporting you and grounding you through your practice. Notice the sounds in the distance, acknowledging them and let them go. And noticing the sounds in your room and tuning back into your breath as it flows in and out. Breathing in for 2 and out for 3. Extending your exhalation. Leaving behind our busy mornings, scanning our bodies, exhaling into any areas of tightness or discomfort. Our theme for today is gratitude, the quality of being grateful, readiness to show appreciation for and to return kindness. Think about what you're grateful for in your life and how does it make you feel when you think about the person or situation. Being grateful helps us to be more positive in our minds, and it raises our vibration and improves our lives. I'm grateful for the opportunity to practice yoga with you all today. Let's open our yoga practice with an Om. You can join me if you wish, but you don't have to. I'm going to take a big deep breath in and then exhale all that doesn't serve you. Another deep breath in. Om. Thank you for being here today, supporting yourself and each other. Let's come into a child's pose. Taking your knees nice and wide and bringing your buttocks back to your heels. Walking your hands forward and coming down, bringing your forehead down to the mat. We're going to stay here for about 5 breaths, just tuning into our body, noticing the support from the ground coming up through your hands, your forearms, your shins and the top of your feet. On each exhalation, surrendering a little more into the pose. Scanning your body, noticing any tightness, and scanning your mind, noticing the thoughts that are there and letting them go. The next hour practice is for you, supporting your self-love and self-care. Taking a couple more breaths and then coming up into all fours. Bringing your knees nice and wide underneath your hips and your hands underneath your shoulders. We're going to do a few rounds of cat-cow, loosening up our spine. As we inhale, we lift our chest and lift our gaze, having a nice curve in your lower back. And as we exhale, bringing our spine up towards the ceiling, looking through our knees towards our feet. Just keep going, your own pace, your own time, moving with your breath, warming up and moving vertebrae by vertebrae. Let's go 2 more rounds. And coming into a seated position, you may be on your buttocks or you may be on your knees. We're going to do some twisting from side to side. We're going to inhale, lift our arms up, reach up towards the ceiling, and exhale, taking your left hand down to the mat and stretching across with your right hand. Inhale back to the center and then over to the other side. Just going side to side, letting your breath initiate the movement. Stretching through the side of our bodies. Inhaling to the center and exhaling to the side. We'll go 1 more on each side. And from here, we're going to go into a child's pose. So we're going to exhale into child. And we're going to inhale and come up and lift our chest, bring our hips forward into an up dog. And then exhale back into child's pose. Just noticing the movement, letting your breath initiate it. Inhale as you come up, lifting your chest, lifting your gaze and bringing your hips through to get a nice stretch through the front of your hips and right through the front of your body. And then exhaling, getting a nice stretch through your lower back and your shoulders. Continue on, we'll do 5 more rounds here. Just getting our body warmed up. Going at your own pace, tuning into your breath. We'll go 2 more rounds. And when you finish your second round, coming back into a neutral position again. And from here, we're going to take the movement a little further into an up dog and a down dog. So we're going to open up our hands on the mat and press against the mat as we lift our hips up towards the ceiling. I'm going to walk our heels down towards the mat, stretching through the back of our legs. This is our first down dog for the practice. And from here, we're going to take our hands a little further forward. We're going to inhale and bring our hips through into an upward dog. You can have your knees off the ground or you can have your knees on the ground, whatever more comfortable for you. And then exhaling, tucking your toes back under into a downward dog. Continue on with your breath for another 4 or 5 rounds. Just taking that stretch through the spine a little more and through the legs. It's a little bit bigger movement. Inhale as you come into upward dog and exhale as you press back into downward dog. Just going at your own pace. And we'll go one more round. And then coming back to neutral spine again. From here, we're going to lift our alternate arms and legs. We'll start with our left leg and right hand. So as we inhale, we're going to lift up through the leg and the arm, elongating through the hand, having the toes pointed down towards the mat. And then exhale as you come into tiger curl, bring your knee and your elbow together. Then inhale back in, staying on the same side, moving with your breath. Inhale as you lift, stretch and squeeze the buttock, and exhale as you come into tiger curl. We'll go 2 more rounds on this side. And then coming into a position with your hand and your foot in the air, we're going to bend the left leg and take the foot across to the right side. And then take our right hand back, holding onto the foot and lifting up. Stretching through the thigh here, raising your chest. Take one more breath and then release. Bring the hand and knee back down to the mat. Taking a couple of breaths here in neutral position, and then we're going to go to the other side. Just getting your breath. Let's start with left hand, right knee. So inhale, lift and lengthen, keeping your back nice and flat. And then exhale, tiger curl. And then inhale, lift and lengthen. Your toes pointing down towards the mat. Continue on your own breath, your own pace. Keeping it all nice and controlled, nice and steady. As you lengthen out, squeezing through the buttocks. And we'll go one more here. And then lengthen out, bending the right knee and taking the foot over to the left side. And then reaching back with your left hand onto the foot. And lift your chest and lengthen through the leg, having a nice stretch through the right thigh. Staying here for another breath. And then let it go. From here, we're going to come back down into a child's pose. Bring your buttocks down to your heel. Bring your forehead down to the mat. Just resting here for a couple of breaths. Coming back to our theme with the practice today, to gratitude. Think about what you're grateful for and taking that with you in your practice today. And from here, we're going to come up into a standing position at the front of your mat. We're going to do some sun salutes, get some movement into our bodies. So coming towards the front of the mat, we're going to inhale, lift and lengthen, raising our arms, raising our gaze. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen our spine, and then exhale, stepping back with both feet into high plank. And then slowly lowering your body down to the mat. Inhale, lift up into upward dog. And then exhale, tucking your toes under, coming into downward dog. Raising your gaze towards your hands and jump or step forward into forward bend. Lift and lengthen the spine. And then draw your chest towards your legs. Inhale, come all the way back up. And hands back to Anjali Mudra. Okay, let's do 4 more rounds. Your own time, your own pace. You can come with me if you wish, or you can go at your own pace. So inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhale, lift the spine. Exhale, stepping back into high plank, or you can bring your knees down to low plank. Slowly lowering down to the body with the elbows beside you. Inhale, lift into upward dog, and exhale to downward dog. Raising the gaze and stepping forward into a forward bend. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale, draw your chest towards your legs. And then inhale all the way back up. Continuing on, we've got 3 more rounds. Feel free to rest into child's pose if you wish. Look after your body. Slowly lowering down. Inhale, lift the chest and lengthen. And tucking your toes under into downward dog. And then stepping forward into forward bend. Lengthen the spine. And then draw your chest towards your legs. Inhale, come all the way back up. Good work. 2 rounds to go. Inhale, lift your hands towards the ceiling, stretching up, and exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine, lift your chest, and then exhale, stepping back into high plank or low plank. From here, bending at your elbows and keeping your elbows close to your body. Slowly lowering to the floor. Inhale, lift up through the chest into an upward dog. And then exhale into downward dog. Raising your gaze, step or hop forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. And exhale, draw your chest into your legs. And then inhale, come all the way back up. And back to Anjali Mudra. We've got 1 more round to go. Inhale, lift and lengthen, lift the hands up towards the ceiling. Folding forward as you exhale. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, step back into high plank. And then slowly lower the body down to the mat. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your gaze. And then exhale into downward dog. And then step forward. Lengthen your spine as you inhale and exhale as you draw your chest towards your legs. And then inhale, coming all the way back up. Nice work. Just softening your eyes and tuning back into your breath here. Letting our breath settle down. Just tuning back in. And then when you're ready, stepping to the back of your mat. We're going to do some warrior sequences here. So we're going to take our left foot out, turn it out slightly, and step forward with the right foot. We're going to inhale, lift our arms up and bend the right knee. Lift the chest and lift our gaze. Feeling that stretch through the left hip. Stay here for a couple more breaths. And then taking the left hand back and the right hand forward, lengthening through the hands with the right knee stacked up on top of the right ankle. And from here, we're going to bring both hands down to the mat. Bring your right hand in front of your right foot, bringing your left heel down to the mat. We're going to inhale and we're going to lift the left hand towards the ceiling and lengthen out through the right leg. Staying here for 3 breaths. And one more breath. As you bring the left hand down, and we're going to take our right hand to the sky. If you have a block here, you might like to put your left hand on the block. As you lift the right hand, take your gaze up with the right hand into a twisted triangle. Staying here for 3 breaths and noticing the stretch down the back of the right leg through the buttocks. And then bringing that right hand back down to the mat. Inhale and come all the way up. And then coming back to Anjali Mudra and stepping back, giving both legs a little shake. And we'll go to the other side. This time we're going to turn our right foot out slightly and step forward with the left leg. We're going to inhale, lift our hands, lift our gaze and our chest, bending through the left knee, having the left knee stacked on top of the left ankle. Taking 3 breaths here, noticing the stretch through the hip on the right. And taking the left hand forward, right hand back, and extending through both hands, feeling that stretch across the back, noticing the strength required on the left leg. And then from here, we're going to bring both hands down inside that left leg. This is where you can use the block again if you want. Bringing the block or your hand to just inside the left foot. And we're going to raise the right hand up to the ceiling. Take your gaze with it and lengthening out through the left leg. Noticing the stretch through the left hamstrings and opening up through the chest. Staying here for 3 breaths. And then returning the right hand down to the mat. And we're going to lift and lengthen the left hand to the sky into a twisted triangle. Staying here for 3 breaths and noticing the stretch through the back of the left leg. And then returning the left hand down to the mat. And then inhale, lift both hands up using the strength in the left leg. And then hands back to Anjali Mudra and then stepping forward with the right leg, giving that a little shake. And we're going to go into a little bit of balancing. From here, we're going to bring our hands back down to the mat, folding forward. Bring our fingertips down and we're going to lift up through the left leg, having the toes pointing down towards the mat. Getting your balance here, opening up through the right foot, noticing the ankle points and notice the grounded foot on the right side. Lifting your gaze towards the top of the mat. And then if you feel comfortable, you can take your hands up off the mat and bring yourself into aeroplane pose. If you need to, you can drop your left toe down to the mat, lifting your chest a little bit. And we're going to stay here for 3 breaths. Noticing the strength through the right leg, especially the right buttock. And then gently dropping the left toe to the mat and lifting your hands all the way up. Stretching up and then bringing both feet together, and we're going to go to the other side. So we're going to inhale, lift up, and exhale, we're going to fold back down again. This time spreading your foot on the left side, your fingertips down on the mat, and then we're going to lift up the right leg, having the right toes pointing down to the mat, bringing your gaze towards the top of your mat, steadying your breath down, and then when you're ready, you can lift up through the hands. At any point you can drop your toe down on the right side to give you some balance, and have a little play with it. Lifting your hands up, we'll take 3 breaths here, nice and steady. Notice the strength through that left leg. Oops. You might find you're a lot more balanced on one side than the other. Staying here for 1 more breath, and then bringing the right toe down to the mat. Inhale, bringing the arms all the way up, and back to Anjali Mudra. Well done. Okay, now we're going to do another little balance here. This is going to be like a tree pose, and we're going to put a little stretch in it because I know that a lot of you have a little bit of lower back tightness. So we're going to bring the left foot in front of the right foot, hands at Anjali Mudra, and then we're going to bend through the right leg and bring our chest down a little. That's it, till we feel the stretch. If you need to, you can hold on to the wall next to you. We're staying here for 3 more breaths, finding something to gaze at to help you with your balance. Let's go 1 more breath here. And then slowly standing back up, releasing that leg back down to the ground. Give it a little shake. So you might find you're much stronger on one side than the other. Then we're going to go to the other side. So opening up your toes on your left foot this time, bringing your right foot across, finding your gaze point, and then bending through that left knee, bringing your chest forward, feeling the stretch through the right glute and the right ITB. Staying here for 3 breaths. It's okay to hang on to something next to you if you feel that you're losing your balance, but just have a little play with it. And 1 more breath here. And then straightening through the left leg, bring the right foot down to the mat. Give that a little shake. Then we're going to come down to the mat, and we might stretch out a little more. So having your feet out in front of you, this time we're going to bend our left knee and place the left foot on the outside of the right leg. Then we're going to place our right hand on our left knee and the left hand behind us. And we're going to twist. We're going to draw the left knee to the right and look over our left shoulder. So as we twist around, taking a few breaths here, elongating through your spine, looking over your shoulder and noticing that stretch through the left buttock and the left ITB and a twist in your lower back. And then release the leg back down, and we'll go to the other side. So bring the right foot across the outside of the left knee, left hand on your right knee, right hand around the middle of your back behind you, and you're going to draw your right knee towards the left side and then look over your right shoulder. Taking 3 breaths here. Each time you exhale, just surrender into the twist a little more and notice the stretch through the right buttock and the right ITB. And then come back to the front, release, give both legs a little shake. And from here, we're going to go into a seated forward fold. So we're going to inhale, lift our hands, and exhale, fold forward. Bring your hands to your toes if you can. If not, you can bring them to your ankles or your shins. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths, gazing towards your toes, and on each exhalation, surrendering a little more into the stretch, noticing the stretch through the back of your legs and your lower back, keeping your chest up and gazing towards your toes. Let's go 3 more breaths here. And then releasing your hands, drawing them back up to the ceiling. And this time we're going to go into a twist. We're going to take both hands towards the outside of the right foot or the right ankle or shin. And then we're going to take the right hand behind. From here you can go into a half bind and bind that right hand behind you. And again, we're going to take 3 breaths this time, feeling that stretch and slight twist, mainly through the right leg this time. And then release. Inhale, stretching up. And then exhale, taking both hands towards the outside of the left foot. And then taking your left hand behind. And if you like, you can bind it around your back. And taking 3 breaths here. Nice long exhalations, surrendering into the stretch a little more with each exhalation. Gazing towards your toes. And then release. And stretching all the way back up again. And bring your hands back to Anjali Mudra. Good. From here, we're going to go onto our backs with our legs bent. Hugging our knees to the chest. Rolling your body around, freeing up the lower back and the lumbar spine. And then from here, we're going to bring our feet down to the mat. And we're going to lift up into a bridge. You can have your hands placed, palms down on the mat. Bring your heels towards your buttocks. And I want you to inhale, lift up through the hips. And you can leave your hands where they are, or you can bring them underneath you and clasp them together. And then draw your shoulders together into a nice stretch through the shoulders. Bring the buttocks up as high as you can, squeezing and noticing the stretch through the core, the buttocks, the thighs, the hamstrings, and the shoulders. Bring the chin to the chest. And coming back to the theme of your practice around gratitude, taking 3 more deep breaths here. And then slowly lowering the spine down to the mat. Hug your knees to your chest again. Just giving that a little rinse out. And from here, we're going to go into a legs up position. So you might like to have your legs up the wall, or you might like to go into shoulder stand. So inhale as you lift up. If you're in shoulder stand, drawing your elbows together. Doing some little circles with your ankles. Feeling nice and light in the legs. Give your legs a little bit of shake, a little bit of movement. We're going to stay here for 10 breaths. You can move your legs out nice and wide. Taking a few breaths here. You might like to bring the soles of your feet together and your knees out wide. And if you're in the shoulder stand, you might like to straighten out through your legs and then take your feet over your head down towards the ground. You might like to reach out with your hands to grab hold of your toes in that position. If you've got your legs up the wall, you might like to take your feet out wide again. If you have your feet over your head, you might like to bend your knees into a ploughman's pose. And then on the next exhalation, slowly lowering your spine back down to the mat. And then lengthening out through your feet and your hands, stretching your spine, stretching your body. And then rolling over onto your front. So from here, we're going to have our gaze towards the mat, bring our forehead down towards the mat, and we're going to bring our hands underneath our hips with the palms facing up. And from here, we're going to inhale and we're going to lift our feet off the mat, squeezing through our buttocks with our gaze point towards the mat. Staying here for 3 more breaths. Just keeping our toes pointed, squeezing the buttocks. And 1 more breath. And then release. Bring your forehead down to the mat. Releasing your hands from underneath your hips. And then we're going to take our hands to the side with the back of our hands down, placed down towards the mat. And we're going to inhale and we're going to lift our chest and lift our gaze and stretch through the arms. So stretching back through into snake pose. Staying here for 3 breaths. And then release back down to the ground. From here, we're going to bring our hands forward underneath our shoulders. And we're going to bend our left leg. So bringing the foot up towards our buttock. And then we're going to reach back with our left hand. And we're going to lift our chest and lengthen through our foot. Getting a stretch through the left side of our body, through the shoulder, through the left quad. Taking 2 more breaths here. And then release. Bring the hand back underneath your shoulder. And then we're going to go to the other side. So this time we're going to bend our right knee and bring the heel towards our buttock. And we're going to reach back with the right hand. Inhale, lift through the chest and lengthen through the foot. Feeling that nice stretch through the right side, through the chest and through the buttocks and the quads. 2 more breaths. And then continue to hold on to the right foot. And this time we're going to bend the left knee and bring the left foot towards the buttock and reach back with the left leg, the left hand. And from here, we're going to inhale and lift our chest, lengthen through our feet up into full bow pose. And we're going to stay here for 3 breaths, really squeezing through the buttocks. Nice work, everyone. 1 more breath here. Big breath. And then release. Releasing your feet down to the ground and lifting your hand, releasing your hands down to the ground. From here, we're going to inhale up to all fours. Tucking your toes under, we'll take it up into a downward dog. Walking your heels backwards and forwards, just rinsing out our spine. And then releasing your knees down to the mat, rinsing out with a couple of cat-cows. Inhale, lift your chest, and then exhale, bring your spine up towards the ceiling. Just taking that through for a couple more rounds. And then from here, we're going to go into Savasana and our Yoga Nidra for today. So getting yourself in a comfortable position, laying down on your back. You may have a blanket that you can throw over. You may have an eye pillow. Just getting yourself really comfortable. Taking 3 deep, releasing breaths, relaxing your body, feeling the earth beneath you, supporting you through your yoga practice. Be aware of the sounds in the distance, moving your awareness from sound to sound without attempting to identify the sound. Be aware of your physical body lying in Savasana. Be aware of your alignment, your chin lower than your forehead, your spine aligned, your arms close to your body, fingers away from the floor, as comfortable as possible. Become aware of your natural breath, keeping it completely spontaneous. Repeat your intention 3 times with feeling. And rotating the consciousness around your body, your right hand thumb, forefinger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm, back of your hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right side trunk, hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, top of your foot, bottom of your foot, toes, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Check your awareness that you're still awake and move your attention to your left hand thumb, forefinger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm, back of your hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, left side trunk, hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, top of your foot, bottom of your foot, toes, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Check your awareness that you're still awake and move your attention to the back of your body, your heels, back of your legs, buttocks, back, shoulder, arms, hands, whole spine, neck, back of your head, crown of your head, forehead, right temple, left temple, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, eyebrow center, right eye, left eye, right ear, left ear, right cheek, left cheek, right nostril, left nostril, lips, chin, throat, chest, 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 abdomen, 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 pelvis, pelvis, pelvis. Become aware of your breath, counting back from 17 to 0. Check your awareness that you're still awake. Awaken the feeling of warmth. The whole body is warm. Your arms are warm. Your legs are warm. Your whole body is warm. Now awaken the feeling of coolness in your body. Imagine your arms are cool, your legs are cool, your whole body is cool. Bring your awareness to the front of your closed eyes and imagine the following objects as they are named. New palm fronds, a lighted candle, a sunrise, a beautiful garden, a setting sun, clear blue sky, a rainbow, a red rose, the ocean, an eagle, an elephant. Now is the time in your practice to repeat your resolve 3 more times. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Feel your body resting in Savasana, aware of the room that you're in and your surrounds, the floor, the ceiling, the windows, the sounds inside the room and the sounds outside the room. Recall the time of day and know that the practice of Yoga Nidra is coming to an end. I will chime the singing bowl. The practice of Yoga Nidra is coming to an end. Gently stretching out, bringing your arms overhead, stretching out your body. Rolling to one side, let your eye pillow roll off. As an ending quote from Eckhart Tolle, acknowledge the great that you already have. Your life is the foundation for all abundance. Coming back to a comfortable seated position or laying down if you'd like a little more rest. Be conscious of your upper body, your breath. Notice how your body feels and how your mind feels, and bring gratitude with you for the rest of the day. Bringing the hands to the forehead for kind thoughts and to your lips for kind words and to your heart for a kind heart. Thank you for being here with me today, and thank you for your beautiful energy in your yoga practice. You support yourself and each other with your yoga practice. Namaste. Ah, nice. How's everyone?
Good, thank you. Very good.
Good. Excellent. Well,